Hello everyone, in this lesson we are going to cover conditional formatting. This is just an introduction. Conditional formatting can be quite advanced. For our purposes, we are going to cover the most basic conditional formatting options. On this sheet, you can see prices and number in stock for various inventory items for Excel Office Supplies Company. Now there are many items and I want to make it easier to see, or perhaps easier for me to manage this inventory. For example, I may want to highlight all the zeros or when my inventory falls below a certain level, and this is where conditional formatting may come useful. So to start, I need to highlight all the numbers that I want to conditionally format. So these ones are all my numbers in stock. This is just an inventory count. We have pens, pencils, paper, and so on and so forth. So to start conditional formatting, I can click this little box in the style section on the ribbon. And I have some very simple rules here. In this particular example, I am particularly interested when my inventory falls below a certain level. So let's say if it's less than 5, then I would like to highlight that particular cell in yellow. So just click on this box, and we're just going to say if it's less than 5, in this section, if it's less than 6, that means it's 5 or lower. I would like to highlight it in yellow and click OK. And you can see that the format automatically changes. If I change the value above 5, so let's say I want to change it to 6, the format disappears. So it may help me track my inventory a little bit better. If it's too low, I may want to order it. Now I would like to apply another rule. If it's at 0, I may want to make an inventory call right away or go to my supply store. So I'm going to go to conditional formatting once again, and I'm going to select highlight cell rules. And I'm going to say less than 1. That means 0 and below. And I would like to highlight it as red. Fill with dark red text. So let's leave it in that. And I can easily tell that my erasers are at 0, meaning I probably have to go and order them right away. And if I buy enough, let's say I get 15 of them, the cell is no longer highlighted. So once again, this is just to help me understand my inventory levels and make it easier to manage. You can use conditional formatting for many other reasons, but basically the premise is the same. You want to highlight a certain section just to alert you or to view the data a little bit better. You have other rules here as well. You can highlight duplicate values, for example. Right, so let's undo all my rules. I'm going to select the section, and just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select duplicate values. And what Excel does, it finds all the duplicate values for me. So I have 25, 25, 10, 10, 16, 16. It's probably not very useful in our example, but you may find it useful in other examples. So let's undo that. You have other options here as well. Equal to, in between, less than, text that contains a date and duplicate values they already covered. You also have top 10 items, top 10%, bottom 10 items, and bottom 10%. So let's try and select top 10%, right? In this case, it finds the top 10% or less by the highest amount. I have 66, and it just highlights that number. I can select bottom 10 items, for example, which are the lowest 10 numbers. As well, I can play with other options, above average, below average, as well as others. You have other cool features here as well, data bars. So just for visuals, it'll show you how much inventory you have when compared to other items. You can select different colors if you prefer, and you have gradient and solid fills. You also have color scales, right? So in this particular one, you want to highlight values or inventory items with the highest amount of inventory as green and the lowest as red. So just a rainbow here. And you have icon sets. Not very useful in this example, but you can play with some of them. You can use bars, for example, similar to the previous example that we looked at. As well, you have rules, various rules. The rules are a little bit more advanced, and we are going to cover them in the more advanced section of this course. Right now, we just want to introduce ourselves to conditional formatting. So these are the basics of it. I'm just going to undo the changes. The other options that we have is style, format as table. So I can select this whole table, and I have various table options just to make it look more pretty. So let's say I select this one, and the formatting looks much nicer. I can also use these drop-down menus to select a certain number of items. So let's say I want all prices at 2. So I'm just going to click select all to unselect them and click 2, and it filters it to $2. If I want to go back, I just click select all, and I have my data back. So Excel never actually loses the data, it just hides it. So if I go back to my home tab, I can select different table options here as well. Once again, it's a matter of preference. So go ahead and try it yourself. Pause this video and try different conditional formatting options as well as table formats. Other styles that we have here are for more manual formatting. So let's say I would like to make my titles here more visible. I can go into this menu and select a certain format. Once again, it's more or less manual. The difference is that you don't see the drop-down menus as we saw in the previous examples, format as tables. Nevertheless, the data looks just as nice. This is it for today's lesson, and thank you for watching.